Radio Brockley, the UK's official #1 hospital radio station.
Hello and welcome to Brockley News, Radio Brockley's weekly show with news, interviews and information, including all you need to know what's happening in and around the hospital. I'm Alan Joyce, and coming up tonight we'll be hearing from Zoe Keats, who is the play specialist in the adolescent unit. She'll be telling us about their new MRI machine, which will educate patients on the ward before they go for their scans. Then at 7:30 tonight, your chance to win some super Radio Brockley goodies without leaving your bed on Bedside Bingo. David March will be calling out the numbers and giving you the chance to win, so good luck if you're playing along. And then at 8 o'clock tonight, it's all your choice of tunes on the Sunday Request Show with Keith Reeve. So stay tuned to London's longest running hospital radio station and now the UK's official #1 hospital radio. It's Radio Brockley. So for tonight's special interview, let's join our reporter Emily Colebrook.
So I'm joined here today by Zoe, who is a senior play specialist here at the hospital, and Yoryd, who's biomedical team member for TBS, which stands for Telemetric and Biomedical Services. So today I've got this object in front of me. It looks like a small MRI scanner. So Zoe, Yoryd, what's the purpose of this device?
Oh, hi. Well, first of all, thank you very much for having us along this afternoon. It's been fantastic to have the opportunity to come and introduce our MRI scanner toy. So this scanner has got a name. It's called Isaac. And it's called Isaac because on the next scanner we are going to have around the outside Mr. I Scan Do It. So he's called Isaac Scan Do It. So this is a replica of our MRI scanner that we have in the hospital. And the purpose of the scanner is that we are trying to help children to have MRI scans awake rather than have a general anaesthetic, which at the moment the majority of children have to have a general anaesthetic. So I'm trying to reduce the amount of GAs that children actually have to have. And through preparation, if they know about it and they can see the machine beforehand, hopefully this is going to reduce any anxieties that they may have about their scans.
So what does it do? So what exactly does it, the noise, is it like, does it stimulate the brain or teach them to understand what's going to happen?
Yes, in a nutshell, it imitates what a real MRI scan is going to do. The scanner has obviously a table, which we have a doll that the child can put the doll inside on the table, and the good thing about our machine is it's remote controlled, and children absolutely love remote controls these days. So they can operate it themselves, which is really good. It gives them good control. So they using the remote control, they can make the bed go into the scanner. And then it makes the sounds. It goes through a cycle of different sounds, about 8 sounds we've got on there at the moment. And then they can also bring, after the cycle's finished, the bed comes out and we can switch it to a different mode where the bed goes all the way in and the cycle starts again with all the sounds.
So who came up with this idea?
I came up with the idea a couple of years ago when a 5-year-old little boy needed to have an MRI scan, and he was due to have it done asleep, and unfortunately on the day he wasn't very well, so couldn't have a GA, and they asked me if I would help him to understand what it was going to be like and try and help him and support him through that. So with a quick diagram and using a polo mint, I managed to explain it to him, and he agreed to give it a go. So I went up there with him, supported him, and half an hour later he was able to go home.
So when did this start developing? Is it after that?
Yeah, so after that I thought, well, actually there are other children who have to go through this quite often, and if I can make something that imitates what a real MRI scan does, then this may prove quite positive, and I may be able to help lots of children have an MRI scan awake. So it's gone on from there really, and that's when I found Yoryd, and together we designed how I wanted the scanner to look and what I wanted it to do, and between us we came up with the designs and put them onto a computer, and now we've managed to get it produced in 3D printer.
I think it's really cool. Like, it really represents what an MRI scanner looks like. So, Yoryd, how long did it take to make exactly?
Well, it took us over a year and a half really to develop, and we started off with like just basic sketches, doing prototypes. So there are a couple of versions before this which are very, very smaller and not very practical. But yeah, we've gone through various iterations to where we are now, and we've had a lot of support as well from various factions at the RNOH. So UCLH supported us with their printer, TBS supported us as well with the prototype as well. So essentially, yeah, we started about a year and a half ago. Zoe came up to me and said, Yoryd, I've got this great idea. I want to create a model MRI for kids. I was completely blown away by her inspiration for it. I thought, yeah, this is fantastic. It's really going to help. It's a really good project to work on. And I love these kind of techie projects. Because I work in engineering, this was a really good opportunity. So once me and Zoe started talking, our imagination kind of went, isn't it? We were a bit like kids.
We went a bit wild.
We were like, oh, right, let's get some sounds in there. Let's get a moving table. Let's get some lights in there. And yeah, we just kind of really took it from there. It was a challenge for both of us because this is not something that neither of us has done before. I've never created this kind of electronic model before, so it was a challenge. And it was quite hard as well, isn't it, for us to get through it. We had various problems when we were developing it, blown circuit boards and things like that, so there were delays.
3D printers going wrong.
Yeah, 3D printers are annoying, even though they're brilliant, but they are annoying because they don't always print correctly. But here we are today. Here we are today with this fantastic 3D model in front of us. It's got a table that moves in and out. It's got sounds that it plays. We're going to be introducing lights into it. It's fully programmable, and I think it's a great tool. And Zoe's been using it quite actively recently, haven't you, with our patients, and it's been getting more and more exposure in the trust from consultants and clinicians.
With regards to the size, Yoryd, how big is it? The dimensions, and how proportionate is it?
Okay, yeah, I'll try and make a description of this for the listeners. So the actual model is around 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters. It's actually 1/10 of the scale of a real MRI scanner, which can be up to 2 meters. So we've tried to keep all the dimensions very, very similar. It kind of looks like a big polo with a hole through the middle, and the table moves inside that hole as and when the users control it. All of the electronics are mounted inside the shell, so you can't really see anything from the outside, and it's all powered off an AC adapter which runs at 12 volts, so nice and easy to use. And I'm sure if the viewers are really keen to see what it looks like, if you do a little Google search for RNOH MRI scanner toy on Google, you should find some pictures on Facebook and Twitter. So please have a look and leave your comments.
And also Radio Brockley will be placing the picture of this onto our Facebook and Twitter and Instagram page, so you can also have a look through there as well. Is this the only prototype that you have? Have you got any more, or is this just the only one?
This is the first prototype, but as I say, along the way we've had lots of fun sort of like trying to print the scanner using 3D printers, and we've kept every single bit of it to show our kind of progression as to where from the beginning as to where we are now, and we were just ever so grateful to Prop Shop in Pinewood Studios, who actually said, "Yep, let's do it. We can print it for you, no problem."
So you were saying about you had challenges along the way. What would you say was the biggest challenge that you had creating this?
Actually getting it to work, really.
Yeah.
We weren't sure if it was going to come together, if the table was actually going to work, if the circuit boards were going to work. So it was really an iteration by iteration. We've done it step by step. And we've both worked really, really hard to get it where it is. I think that was the biggest challenge. But now that we've developed the prototype, it's a really great feeling, and we're really eager to continue developing this and working really with clinicians out there who want to help children and people who have MRI anxiety.
Myself included. What about costs? Was it very expensive to make, or was it quite cheap?
It was quite expensive in the end. It cost more than what we first anticipated, but we were very, very lucky in that the RNOH charity and fundraising have supported us immensely. And when I put in the bid, they said, "Yeah, this is a great idea. Yes, we will support you 100%. So here's whatever money you need." So this is the first prototype, and we in the next couple of months we will be getting another exactly the same printed again. So we'll have two to work around and keep building up on.
So are we going for a mass production, or are we just thinking take small steps at a time with this?
I think we'll probably take small steps at a time, but I'm positive. I have got a very, very good feeling, and I think we've both had a very good feeling all the way along.
Yeah, definitely.
That this could go quite far, and we will keep going to see how far it takes us.
Yeah, we'd like it to, and we're open to anyone really out there that wants to get involved.
So obviously it's just for this trust at the moment. Are other trusts interested in this?
Yes, there's been a couple on when it went out on Facebook a couple of months ago. We had some interest from I can't remember which hospitals it was now, but there was two of them, and they were quite interested and thought it was a great idea.
So it's the future plans to get it out to all of the trusts in the UK, possibly?
I think so.
Is that the plan?
Yeah.
That is the plan, yeah.
Brilliant. So you say it's targeted at children. Is it just for children?
You see, no, I don't believe so. I mean, obviously to begin with, I thought, yes, right, this is just for children. But as we've been going on, and I've been working with, the teenagers as well, I thought, well, actually, I am, as an adult, and I'm a patient at the RNOH, I have regular MRI scans, and they're quite scary, for an adult. So, no, I think this is going to be really good for adults as well.
Because I definitely agree with you there, because I get regular MRIs myself as a patient at another hospital, and I don't like them at all. And I was telling Zoe and Yoryd beforehand that I listen to really heavy rock music while I'm in there, so I can't hear the scan noises at all.
Yeah.
So I feel that it would benefit also children and adults
Absolutely.
as well. So that's good. Can children just request it, or does it need to be referred to? Because obviously you're a play specialist, so do you need to be referred to see it?
The way that I'm hoping to set the programme going in the next couple of months is to have referrals from the X-ray department, and they've already started doing that. They're sending me a list of children that request that need an MRI scan, so that I can ring the parents and offer them to come in and be prepared and, have a play with the machine, go up to the scanning department, have a look at the real thing. So through preparation, hopefully we'll reduce their anxieties and be able to do it awake. At the moment it is going to be through referrals mainly, but I'm open to anybody. If anyone wants to see it and have a go to help them with their anxiety, I'm up for it, because that's what it's there for. We want it used.
So how many people have you used it on so far?
Well, the real thing, I've only used it on around probably about 5.
Mm-hmm.
But during the time that we've been making it, from that first little boy, about 18 months, 2 years ago, I've managed to do 33 children.
Have you had feedback on it?
Yes, I have had feedback.
And has it been positive?
Yes.
So
very positive.
So what was the patient's feedback on this? What exactly did they particularly say was benefiting the children when they have this experience?
Having the opportunity to understand what an MRI scanner looks like, what it does. They've said that it's good that they can hear the sounds. One little girl a couple of weeks ago said, as soon as I said it was remote controlled, she was like, yeah, remote control, fantastic. So the children being able to stay in control of it works really, really well. And you know, in this day and age, children love all the techno geeky things, don't they? So this is just sort of like perfect for them, really. That's why we came up with the idea of remote control. And the parents have been very positive as well. They've been saying, you know, it is a fantastic idea and it's good to give the children the opportunity to try and have their scans awake, because obviously it's better for them. So seeing it beforehand, it actually helps the parents as well sometimes.
And with the feedback, has there been any improvements they say that they recommended you could do, or has it just been positive so far?
It's just been positive so far, but you know, we have been given some feedback from people within the trust, some comments, and we've taken those on board, and you know, that's what we will aim to improve on in the next few months.
So, with regards to staff that work here, do they need training to use this?
Yes, because it's not straightforward. If you don't know what you're doing, it can. So we've thought about that, and Yoryd very kindly the other day made an instruction manual.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so we've put together a basic instruction manual on how to use this, and I think what we've decided is this is really more of a clinical tool than a toy. It's obviously quite expensive. No matter, you know, there's been a fair amount of cost that's gone into this, so we don't want it thrown about and broken. But as a tool, it's very easy to use. We've designed it in a way that's very easy to use, and under supervision, children will be able to use it no problem. And I guess in regards to improvements, we're still at the prototype stage. So Zoe's using the toy at the moment, and we're actively getting feedback from Zoe herself, from the kids, from staff, and we really want to improve the toy. So we've got some extra sounds that are going to be going in. We're going to be putting in some extra lighting in there as well. And we're going to be changing some of the user controls because it's been a little bit difficult to use. So we're going to change that around. I guess the great thing about this is that it can be customized to however you want to use it. So we've also been asked about whether we could do a similar thing for a CT, which is quite similar. And yes. To be honest, it's very, very similar. So that's something that maybe we could look at in the future.
And also, one of the comments on the Facebook page was from a hospital that did the MRI vertical MRIs scanners. So you're standing up and it's not enclosed. And they said, do you fancy trying to make Barbie a stand-up MRI scanner? So there's quite a lot of possibilities that we could, you know, really improve on, and yeah.
I can definitely see this going quite far based on just seeing this one prototype and how much positive feedback you are getting on this. It definitely seems like this will benefit a lot of NHS trusts in the UK and hopefully maybe globally, but we maybe don't jump that far just yet. So let's just say if it did start to go to other trusts, would Yoryd, would you go to train them on this, or would they do their own training inside?
Yeah, essentially, you know, we're currently in talks with the RNOH. They're sort of acting as our partners and they're advising us on how to move forward. But if we went into production, we would be offering the toy on the market. We would be providing support as well as a warranty period. So it would be quite full time, quite full on. But yeah, we're kind of taking it as it comes. and
Enjoying it.
yeah, enjoying it.
So I know you've been saying how it improves the experience of an MRI, but we'll just get a bit deeper into it. So how does it prepare you? So what do the children see? That, like, does the table goes in, and do they hear the noises, and do you explain to them what these sounds are and not to be scared of them? Is that sort of how you explain it?
Excuse me. Yes. So basically, but on the scanner, first of all, we put the sound on, and it makes like a chirping, a bird chirping sound, which we can demonstrate now.
Yeah, we can demonstrate that, no problem. So
Yeah, let's have a listen to the
So
sound.
I'm just
it's
gonna-
muted at the moment. There we go. So this is the first sound that they hear. Once they hear the chirping sound, the table is all ready to move. So we put the Barbie or Action Man on the table, and we press enter, and the table moves in.
It's moving in now.
It is moving in now, and Barbie's going to go in halfway, and this is the first sound that they hear. And we also have a volume control on the remote control, so they can turn it up and down.
Yeah.
So it goes through a whole sequence of about 8 sounds that our scanners make.
Okay.
So after a few minutes, the next one will come on. So they're getting an idea of what sounds are like, and it's to help them know that it's actually really not that scary. The way I explain it is to imagine drills on a work site.
Ah.
And then they're kind of like, oh, yeah, I've heard of those before. Not too bad.
And what about because I've obviously had like I said, I had scans, and some of my scans have shaked on the table. So, is there any way to prepare them for that, or is that not what's been put into it just yet?
It hasn't been put into it just yet, but it's something that we can look at. It'll be quite easy, I think, just to add a few more features.
yeah.
Can I have a go with it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Of
So
course.
what I'm gonna have a go at this, because this might be interesting to
So,
play with.
If you
So you're
just
to
gonna
press
unmute the sound first of all.
So he's gonna unmute the sound. So there's a
Oh.
play button.
Try pointing that towards the. There you go.
There we go. I've unmuted it.
Right, so that's
So-
the beginning mode.
So you're currently in scan mode, and in this mode it will run for 5 minutes, and it will cycle through different types of MRI sounds for 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. While you're in this mode, one thing you can do is you can press the left and right arrows to go through the sounds. So
Okay.
that's really just for the kids to try different sounds.
Just gonna turn it down a bit.
Yep.
It is quite loud.
So now I'm gonna.
So if you press the right arrow again, it should go to the next sound.
Should. There we go. So we've got another sound now.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. So let's press the next one.
Press the next one.
Next one. Yeah, I didn't like that one at all. That one's really loud.
I mean, they don't hear every single one of these sounds, but they may do.
And how
That's again. So if you press the reset button once, it will unload the table. There we go.
there we
That's
go.
it.
Barbie's coming out now.
Yeah, she's
And
done her
if you-
scan.
That's it. You're good to go. And then that's now reset.
I'm sitting her
So
up now.
she's out and she's happy.
Yeah, she's-
So you can see the sound is quite realistic. And what we've got is we've got a speaker inside the actual moulding, the 3D moulding, and it reverberates. So it gives quite a realistic kind of sound when you get it going. And when you got it up really loud, it's quite quite good. Really good for playing music as well.
Yeah, that's
It's good for parties.
the next thing that we're going to put in is music playing on over the top.
Oh, I would love that.
Because it's very important that because the children will get headphones and they can hear the music. If they really concentrate, they can hear the music playing on over the top of the sounds. So that's the next track that we're going to add to the remote control, which hopefully will be done soon. And the other thing I was going to say is when I prepare the children, the one thing I do tell them is that a parent can stay with them. And they have a choice. They can either wear an eye mask, so that if they feel claustrophobic, then wearing an eye mask is brilliant because they don't know where they are and they can just pretend to go to sleep. Or they have the choice of having a pair of prism glasses, which is like a normal pair of glasses, but the lenses are triangular shaped. So when they're lying in the scanner, they can then see their parent sitting at the end of the tunnel, so they know that they're there. This often really helps them to stay nice and calm, knowing that they've got a parent there as well.
I think this is a very I actually agree. It's a really great idea, and I feel like it definitely will, like I said, benefit a lot of people in the UK with regards to MRI scans. So I definitely congratulate you both on this prototype.
That's really, really good of you saying so.
And that's all right. So we're just going to go a bit. I'm going to turn this off now.
Yeah.
There we go.
See, she knows how to use it already.
This is very easy.
So this is going to a bit more about yourself. So Zoe, what made you want to be a play specialist in the first place?
Yeah, well, funny enough, really, it all started when I was little. When I was about 9, I actually wanted to be a children's nurse for very many years. And after 3 years of trying to get into nursing, it didn't work out. So I went to work as a children's rep in Menorca. So I took a gap year and had an absolutely fantastic time. It was very, very hard work. Everyone thinks that it was, a holiday, for a year, but it really wasn't. I had a lot of learning to do over there. And when I was out there, they talk to people about what they actually wanted to do as a career, and I told them I wanted to work with sick children but didn't know quite how, and that's when they mentioned play in hospital, and I was absolutely amazed by this. And so when I got home from my year off, I got my nursery nursing qualification and then got onto the diploma course in hospital play down at Stanmore College, and qualified. And I've been a play specialist for 14 years now. So, I absolutely love it. It's one of the best jobs I've ever had, really, because it's different every day. It's nice to see the children, go from being really poorly to being, get better and smiling. Helping them to play, because play is a natural part of a child's development, and I enjoy the preparation. That it's very, very much preparation in our role, preparing them for their procedures and helping them to understand what's going on and getting down to their level, really, and helping them to get through their things as peacefully and calmly as possible, really.
And you've made it even more peaceful and calmful with this prototype, so brilliant.
Thank you.
And Yoryd, did you see yourself working in with the NHS to build things like this?
No, not really. I've been working in the NHS for 10 years now, and I work as a biomedical engineer, so I'm responsible for maintaining, repairing medical equipment. I've loved engineering from a young age, and I've always, from a young age, been making stuff, so I love innovation. I've always secretly wanted to get involved in projects like this, and that's why I jumped off my chair when Zoe came to me and said, can we make a model? I was like, yes, we definitely can. I love innovation, and I also think that, just generally speaking, I think the staff in the NHS have a lot of potential for innovation because they work with patients every day. They work on the front line, and there's really an amazing pool there, a knowledge pool. And I'd like to see more ideas come out from the NHS, from clinical staff. I'd like to see more people sort of raise their ideas and go ahead and make things like this. That's what it's all about, So yeah, absolutely enjoying it. loving it at the moment, and looking forward to doing more work with Zoe and the trust, and let's see where it goes.
Next step, CT
Next
scanner.
steps, next step CT, and then who knows where we'll go from there.
So obviously we're a radio station and we love music, and I'm sure you do too. So would you both like to pick a song? Like, I think you were saying earlier you wanted to pick a song for the scanner.
Yes.
So what song do you particularly like to pick?
Well, we've chosen When You Wish Upon a Star.
The Pinocchio one.
Yes, a real Disney one, and the reason for that is because lots of children love Disney, and I think I think the words in it are very prominent to the and relevant to the scanner. When you wish upon a star, things happen. Good things happen.
Well, thank you very much for your time today, to coming down to let us chat to you about this.
Thank you very much for having us. It's been fantastic.
So hopefully we can see how it progresses in the future.
Yeah.
So from Radio Brockley, we once again congratulate you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Well done to both of them there. And if you want to see a picture of that toy scanner, then we've just tweeted it from our Twitter site. So go to @Radio Brockley and you'll see a picture of it there. Don't forget to stay tuned to Radio Brockley. We've got Bedside Bingo coming up next, and we've got all your requests on the Sunday Request Show still to come this evening at 8 o'clock. Plus, of course, if you want to catch up with some of the interviews on Brockley News, you can log on to our website, radiobrockley.org. Follow the links to our YouTube site where you can hear episodes on there. And also Brockley News Extra, 5 days a week at midday for another chance to hear some of our recent interviews. Brockley News returns at the same time next week. From me, Alan Joyce. Good night.